Good morning, everyone. It's time for another terrific Tuesday card, although I am not filming this on a Tuesday. My name is Sherry Minnie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Keansburg, Colorado, and I'm actually filming this on Friday. What is today? Friday, August 9th. My husband's having shoulder surgery on Monday, and I know that my next week is going to be not so great and very busy, and he's going to need some help for the first couple of weeks. So I decided I would do this, get it early, and then I will have time to get it uploaded for you on Tuesday. But here's our card today. I like this card. It's a nice, kind of very simple. It really didn't take me that long to do it at all. And I just made it kind of a generic card that I could turn it into anything that I want it to be. And here is the envelope. So let me show you what we're using today. So we're using a suite that's called Mediterranean Blooms. It is in the current annual catalog. Ladies, I apologize for my squeaky chair. I have tried everything under the sun to fix the squeak, and I can't, so I'm sorry. It's just something I have to deal with. So here's the stamp set. It's called Citrus Blooms. And then we're using the coordinating dies, which are also called Citrus Blooms. And we're going to be using this very large die to cut out our focal point. And I'll show you how cool this is. And then we're also using, I think that's, and then on this, it's a 2-set die. And we're going to be using this frame to cut out quite a few of our cardstock pieces. And then we will also be using a set of dies that are called Stylish Shapes. And the only thing we're using out of here is this little circle that we'll be cutting out our circle on the front of our card. So those are the 3 dies that we're using. I wanted to show you, and also we'll be using our ink pads are Crumb Cake and Night of Navy. Crumb Cake's only used as a little accent on the inside layer of the card, so really only using one color a lot. And then here is the designer series paper that goes along with this suite. And it's very, it's got fruits, oranges, lemons, and on the back sides there's always a just a pattern. Here's another sheet, and this is the one that I cut out. So like on the front of the card, I'm kind of stumbling with my words today. Here's the card, and you see this little embellishment on the front. That actually came from this sheet of paper, and what's cool about it is this die, if I can line it up right, this die actually cuts out this paper. So I went around and cut out all the paper, all the ones that would match that one. There's also a single one that will cut out this one. So you can cut out a lot of your pieces of your paper, and that's what I did. So again, this is just a very pretty fruits, and if you like Mediterranean style patterns, this looks to me like a tile. Here's all kinds of lemons. You get two sheets of each pattern, and on the back it's just a pretty nice background. Here's the I don't know if they're daffodils or what they are, but they're very pretty yellow flowers. Yellow is one of my most favorite colors. And then here's one just full of oranges, and again a very generic pattern on the back. So that's what we're using today. Just for your information, if this paper is something you think you might like, there is a designer series paper sale going on. It's 15% off of some of the patterns that are in the annual catalog. I think actually all of the catalogs, all of the designer series paper that's in the new annual catalog. So while I'm stumbling about here, let's go ahead and get our packet out. You of course have your envelope. We have a Night of Navy card base. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. you will have a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4, and a piece of designer series paper that is the same 4 by 5 1/4. And what I did on those two is I took this frame and lined it up on here and ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I did that on the white and on the designer series paper, and you end up with something that looks like this, okay? You'll have a small piece of basic white to cut out your circle. And so what I did here, I put this little die on here. I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I came out with, let me find it here, a very little circle like that. And we'll be doing a little tiny little bit of stamping on that. Here is your piece that I cut out of the designer series paper. That'll go on the front. Then I have, for the envelope, I have a 3/4 by 4 piece of designer series paper. You could use either side, I suppose. And then you'll have a very small piece of lemon lolly. This is just 1/4 of an inch by about 4, I think. And we're just going to stamp on that. And I know it's tiny, but we have, our stamps work very well. So to start with, let's do all of our stamping. I'm going to take my Night of Navy ink, and I'm going to bring this a little closer. Hopefully it'll still be on camera, but I can't, it's hard enough to stamp it straight in this little strip, but I can't do it if it's too far away from me. And this says, just checking in, and hopefully I don't get my head in the camera. Whoops. Let's turn it over. You know what? A nice thing that you can do is, if you think you might have a problem stamping this straight, you can just put a little bit of adhesive on the end of it and hold it down so it'll hold that piece in place. I didn't have to do that over in my studio, but when you're filming, everything is very different. So there we go, not too bad. And then you can just pull that up and wipe off the back. So there's that. Now for our inside piece, we are going to take, I should have brought over let me see if I have a piece of scrap paper here, because we're going to have to stamp off. Okay, here we go. We are going to bring in our crumb cake. We're going to take the big stamp that has the fruit and the leaves on it, and I'm going to ink it up very well. I'm going to stamp it off. Actually, I'm going to do it twice, because I just want the faintest image behind what I'm going to stamp my greeting on. And I know you can barely see that. I didn't even stamp it that great, but it is there, okay? Now we are done with that. And now we will take our little circle, and what did I do with it? Here it is. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do the hello up in the corner, or up to the top, towards the top. Let me see, you probably can't even see that. Oh, here, I'll take it off of here, that might help. And there's the hello. And then we'll take this piece back, and we're going to stamp our inside greeting, and it says, you know what? I'm going to stamp that over, because I stamped this on the wrong side of the cutout, of die cut, because they do have a rougher edge on the wrong side, and I see what I did. I stamped on the rougher side, and that's not what I want to do. So we'll just take this we'll restamp it. And that way I can get it a little bit darker in some areas. So once again, stamp once, stamp twice, and now we're going to stamp on our actual image. And since it is a big stamp, I should have done a little more pressing the first time I stamped it. There, that's better. All right, now we can take this and I will line it up on my mat, get it straight, and we're going to stamp on the inside. It says, "You're the best kind of person." And then you could turn, you could put a happy birthday right under that and have this for birthday. You could do it for any kind of card, and that's kind of what I was aiming for. I never really always know what I'm going to need. I am unfortunately out of birthday cards for women. Oh, and I should have done one more thing here with this light brown, the big image, because I did put it on my envelope front. And I stamped this off once because I didn't care if it was a little bit darker. And then I just kind of stamped it down here on the right hand corner of my envelope. There we go. Okay, I think that is it for the stamping. So that's done. So now all we're doing is we're going to take all of our pieces. I think I'll build my little hello piece first. And this is going to be too long, and I know that, but that's okay. I'm going to take my green cap glue, and hopefully it's going to work okay. I think it will. And I'm just going to put a little bit, I need to get up here because I know you can't see. I'm going to put a little bit along the, not a little bit, I got a lot, across there, and put this, kind of try to center this in the middle of the image that I stamped, and it's, it's hit or miss whether I accomplish that or not, especially if my paper's going to slide after I get it put down. Go over, please. Thank you. All right, there that goes. I think I need to come, oh, it's still not straight. Wow. I got way too much glue, and that makes it really slippery. All right, stay there, please. There. Okay, and I am going to trim this off a little bit. I don't want it that long on my card front, so I'm just going to eyeball it, use my scissors, and kind of try to cut it off as best I can on both sides. Okay, there we go. Now, for this is going to go on the front of our card, and I'll continue to see if I can get enough Stamp and Seal out of here to be able to do that. And you just take your card front, and you're going to center this as best you can on your card front, top to bottom, side to side. Okay, then we're going to take this, our little designer series piece, and we're going to put some dimensionals on the back side, because this is the only thing that I really popped up on the card, because I wanted it to have a little bit of extra dimension. We've had a change in our weather on Thursday and today, Friday. It is cool, and we actually got some rain, which, oh, did we need the rain so badly. And there's not any 90-degree days in our forecast for the next few days, if they know what they're talking about. But We could use more rain, but we are so thankful that we got a little bit because, boy, it's just been so dry. Okay, you know me, I always go overboard on the dimensionals, but that's just the way I roll. Okay, and now we're going to take our pokey tool, pick your and take all the backs off of these. I do it this way because that way I can keep all these little white backs together and not all over my room, although I do find them in strange places occasionally. I even had one on, my cat even had one on her nose, and she's not an indoor cat, so I'm not real sure how that happened, but it did happen. All right, now we're going to take this and we're going to put it, I kind of did it with the stem towards the top and just kind of placed it on here. And then for this one, since this is already popped up, I'm going to glue down this side, but I am going to pop up on this side. So again, we'll use our dimensionals, and I'll use a little half one for the yellow strip so that it's even, and then I'll just put a couple along the edge here. And just a little bit, I hope, a little bit of glue right along here. Oh, it just is, yes, it's just because it's been so warm and everything just liquefies. So my husband is having a minor rotator cuff repair surgery on Monday. According to his doctor, it should be minor, not nearly as much rehab and drama as he had with his hip replacement, and we're certainly hoping so, because that was a little more than we were planning on. So here we go. There we go. And I'll just push this down so it'll stick. And then the other thing we need to do, so I don't forget, is we'll put some embellishments on. I don't think I showed you these. These are the opal rounds, and there's clear, Daffodil Delight, and Night of Navy. And this yellow here is kind of between Lemon Lolly and Daffodil Delight. So we're going to use that. If I can get it off of here. And I put one on the saying. And then I'm just going to put a couple up here somewhere. Give us a little bit of a, I think I'll put a big one. They come in two different sizes, and so I'm going to put a big one down here. All right, there's that. I didn't forget the embellishments this time. And then we have to take our inside piece, and we're just going to put this down on the inside. Kind of dressed up the inside with cutting that frame on the white piece, I thought. And then we have our envelope, and for our envelope, I just did a little strip of designer series paper, and we're just going to glue this down. And again, you always want to make sure you get it really good and glued, because the post office does not like it if it's not. And we will take it and stick it on the front. You can either put it right next to your envelope, or you can push it over a little bit, which is what I did on this one. And then we will turn it over. Take our scissors and trim it off. And guess what? We are done. So here's our envelope. Here's the card we made just today. And here is the one that I had for a sample. So I hope you enjoy this card. I think it's very pretty. I love navy and yellow together. I just think it's really pretty. So thank you for taking your time, whether it's in the daytime or your evening time, to watch this video with me. I so truly appreciate every one of you that takes the time to watch. And I hope you have a great week, and may God bless each and every one of you. And I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.